Jersey State Finals since 2000. The Hilltoppers have never won a state title and now are poised to write the next chapter in their history. The Tigers of Tenafly have never played for a state championship, but they know a thing or two about drama. Their entire playoff run can be summed up in one word: overtime. It's the New Jersey Public B Final as Summit meets Tenafly next on MSG Varsity. It's game time on MSG Varsity. Today from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, it's the 2012 New Jersey State Public B Hockey Championship, presented by the New Jersey Devils, as the Hilltoppers of Summit High School take on the Tenafly Tigers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Lou Brogno. Alongside on the call of the game is Pete Caggiano. We welcome you to the Rock. Fascinating Public B State Championship game. Two teams that have never met each other on the ice. Summit going up against Tenafly. And Pete, these two teams have had tremendous playoff runs and great regular seasons as well. Both teams winning over 20 here in this 2012 campaign.
Lou, we actually have two first-place teams. Summit won the Union County League. Tenafly came in first place in the Big North Gold. But as you mentioned, they've never played each other. There's no history between these two teams, but they are eerily similar. Both teams averaged about 5 goals a game, and they let up just under 2. And we mentioned how overtime to get to this point, well, don't be surprised if we don't see it here again tonight.
Well, the Hilltoppers of Summit have had a strong postseason run, and it started off with a bang, crushing Madison by the score of 10-1, a 6-3 win over Verona, and then a 4-0 win over Point Pleasant Borough in the quarterfinals, the exhilarating win over Ramsey by the score of 3-2 in the semis. And they faced the Rams and fell behind as the Rams scored on the power play. Nick Brezzi notched the only goal of the first period, but the Hilltoppers would come back in the second period. They scored 3 with a man advantage. First, Mike Santina fired from the top of the right circle to tie it up. Then Eric Sabler finds Mike Nyitray all alone in the slot. He puts Summit up 2-1, and later they closed out the period with Chris Zanelli, who was unchecked on the doorstep, and Summit would hold on for a 3-2 victory.
It's feeling like no other. We've never been this far since I think the 1999-2000 season, and none of us were around for that, obviously. And it's just this was our goal from the beginning of the season, to get to Prudential Center. And now we've gotten that far. We got to just get the job done.
On the other side for Tenafly, it has been an exhilarating postseason run. You can see in the first round they had a bye. Then they defeated Hanover Park 3-2 in overtime shootout. Defeated Montville 2-1 in overtime, and that one was the boring one, just overtime. And the third one was a shootout as they beat Glenrock by the score of 2-1. And things did not look good for Tenafly as Glenrock's Kevin Doyle scored the first period goal. And it looked like it would stand up. Still down 1-0 in the third. Eli Markowitz scored with his 4:17 left in the game. And after a scoreless overtime, it came down to a shootout. Glenrock's Kevin Doyle scores on John Winauer, but the Tigers would answer with Eli Markowitz as he kept their hopes alive. Jordan Lang's marker gave Winauer some breathing room as he was perfect the rest of the way. And this save on Johnny Spada ended the shootout and won the game for Tenafly and a trip to the finals.
I don't know. There's no better feeling than you versus shooter. I don't know. There's a lot of pressure. I just thought, I can't let this one pass me.
Well, Pete, so much talent on the ice for both of these teams. You talk about the Hilltoppers of Summit. They feature one of the top defensemen in the state of New Jersey, their senior, Mike Nyitray.
Oh, what a good player this young fella is. And he demonstrates such poise on the ice. And you talk about big players coming up big in big games. Well, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points, and that's just in the playoffs. Keith Nixon says he's the quarterback out there. He makes our team run.
And you take a look at Nytray's numbers on the year: 4 goals, 2 assists, and 6 points in the playoffs, and he has been a big factor for the Hilltops.
I think we have 9 seniors. We know it's do or die hockey right now. We changed up our forecheck, playing aggressive. Really, we're just playing hockey, I feel. We're having fun with it, and it's a blast.
And on the other side for Tenafly, the play of Eli Markowitz has been special here in the playoffs. The Tigers simply would not be in this championship game if not for the play of their senior forward.
Well, another senior for Tenafly, Markowitz. He's actually tied with Bernstein with 21 goals to lead the team. But again, here in the playoffs, 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points. He actually scored the game-winning goal against Montville in overtime. That was the one that didn't go to a shootout. But then against Glen Rock, he popped one home in the shootout. So he's just been outstanding, and he's one of those guys that really has to pick up their game tonight if Tenafly wants a shot to beat Summit.
It's been a terrific season for Markowitz. 22 goals, 24 assists, 46 points overall for the Tigers.
I thought to myself, this is it. Like, you really can't freak out. You got to do what you got to do all the time, just like you do in practice. Just got to take it easy. And was patient on the shootout, didn't automatically shoot, and there you go.
So we are just moments away from dropping the puck here in this 2012 Public B State Championship. Summit and Tenafly meeting for the first time ever, and one of these two teams will raise the state championship trophy when it's all said and done. It's coming up next here from the Prudential Center on MSG Varsity's Game Time. Welcome back to MSG Varsity's Game Time. We are at the Prudential Center in Newark. Summit and Tenafly ready to go for the Public B State Championship. Lou Brogno, Pete Caggiano, and the third member of our broadcast team is Colin Cosell. Colin, good to have you with us.
Thanks so much, Lou. Happy to be aboard. Well, we got an opportunity to speak to head coach of Summit, Keith Nixon, about their rise to the New Jersey State Championship, and he told us that the secret to their success is senior leadership.
You know what? We've got 9 seniors on this team, and we've been working towards this point for 4 years. These kids have done a fantastic job, every single one of the seniors.
Well, now it's going to be up to those seniors to lead this Summit squad to a championship. Can it be accomplished? We'll find out right now. Lou?
All right, Colin, Keith Nixon in his 18th season, 226 wins. Played hockey at Ohio University. His Hilltoppers this year, 23-4-2. They've won 7 straight and 13 of 14. And there's the goalie for the Hilltoppers, Garrett McGowan. He's just a sophomore. He's given up only 6 goals in the playoffs. He's been outstanding.
And comes in 1 shutout as well. 4-0 run here in the playoffs.
And on the other side, the head coach of the Tigers of Tenafly, Andy Escala. He's in his 14th season, 23-3-1 his Tigers this year. And there's his outstanding goalie, John Winauer, the senior, had 26 saves against Glen Rock. And on the season, a 1.71 goals against average. So we're ready to go. Tenafly and Summit for the New Jersey Public B State Championship here on the home ice of the New Jersey Devils. And the face-off controlled momentarily by Tenafly. The Tigers, the higher seed, in what would be their home white uniforms trimmed with orange and black, and Summit in the maroon uniforms trimmed with gold. Good crowd on hand for this Public B State Championship. Good hit on the near side by Eric Stabler, the senior for Summit. And the puck heads down to the Summit end. Hilltoppers trying to clear it out. Travis Harden chases down for Summit. And with Riley Flynn, just a freshman, gets a hold of it for the Hilltoppers as well. Now Summit finally able to break out a little bit at center ice, and it's flipped all the way down into the Tenafly zone, and a whistle stops play. You kind of get the sense both teams just kind of feeling each other out early on.
Yeah, Andy Escala, when I spoke to him yesterday at the luncheon, he had mentioned that he said he felt his team was ready for this game. He felt he can ride the high of the 3 overtime wins in the playoffs.
Face-off comes to the right of Garrett McGowan. 1.34 goals against average. Behind the goal, Mike Nyitray, outstanding player for Southern. Senior with 17 goals on the year. And breaking across, Jeff Wyckoff. Wyckoff sends it back deep into the Tenafly zone. Behind the goal. Tracked down there by Seth Porter of Tenafly. Hilltoppers intercepted the blue line and put in front, deflected there by the Tigers. And chasing down Liam McLaughlin, another outstanding offensive performer for the Hilltoppers this year. Had 5 goals earlier in the playoffs against Madison. Eli Markowitz, a big hero in these playoffs for Tenafly, flips it on the near side, banged off the board, intercepted by Nyitray at center ice for Summit, and sent back into the Tenafly zone. We're just underway here in the first period at the Prudential Center. And up ahead on the near side comes Brandon Bernstein of Tenafly, puts a shot that is deflected off the front pads there of Garrett McGowan.
And Lou, that's the kind of shot you want to see. McGowan took that shot early, nice and easy, right into the pads.
First shot on goal, taken by the Tigers there. 2 minutes gone by here in this first period. Intercepted at the blue line. Here's a slap shot that's deflected out in front. Max Drutt, the sophomore of Tenafly, tried to get that one off.
Good job by Travis Harden, the senior defenseman, to squeeze the legs at last second and block that shot from reaching the goal.
Banged up along the far side boards. And chased down by Tenafly. Max Drutt trying to get to the loose puck for the Tigers. He flips it back, and it is intercepted by Summit, banged back in, and now the puck loose at center ice. Big check delivered on the near side by Nyitray into the boards, and we could have our first penalty of the game, and it looks like we will.
Yeah, they're going to call an interference penalty. That's a tough decision by a player. Mike Nyitray is going to sit for 2 minutes. You're going to see it here. The puck gets by, and then he plays. There's a fine line when the puck gets beyond the player, even though he was the last one to touch it, and when he's now chasing it and not the last one in possession. That time our official, Ryan Honig, decided that, nope, it's an interference call.
Kick saved by McGowan off a wicked shot from the blue line, taken there by Jordan Lang. Tenafly on the power play. So the Tigers an opportunity to get on the board first. Let's see if they can capitalize. That one skips over the blue line and back to center ice, and Tenafly will have to reset. Austin Rosen flips it up ahead for the Tigers, and Summit able to clear. Played there by Winauer. He flips it up to Austin Rosen, the senior, and he comes across center ice. Flips it all the way down into the Summit zone, and then Garrett McGowan gloves it there for the Hilltoppers. 11:38 remaining first period. 1:22 on the Tenafly power play.
Garrett McGowan, just a sophomore, comes into tonight with 1 shutout, but an outstanding ability to take care of rebounds. He does a nice job of clearing the puck in front of his net.
Face-off won by the Tigers. Tenafly flips it into the Summit zone. It goes behind the goal. Tracked down there by Brandon Bernstein, the senior for Tenafly. Now it comes back to the blue line. Tenafly sets up the power play. Here's a slap shot, stopped in front, and McGowan able to cover up as he makes the save.
You see right there a little complaining. Jordan Lang saying, I think somebody might have fallen on that puck in the crease, but it wasn't. There's a lot of traffic in front. Watch from the overhead view. Makes the save. Now where is it? It's loose. You can see it. You can see it. It's still loose. Look at our official leaning over the top, and then finally he blows the whistle when McGowan puts his left glove on it.
Face-off was to the left of McGowan. Comes back now to the blue line. Lang in front, they try to set it up, but good defense by the Hilltoppers, but they're unable to gain control. Austin Rosen flips it back. Here's Bernstein, takes the shot that goes just a little bit wide. Now Summit able to clear it all the way back into the Tenafly zone. Austin Rosen sends it up on the stick of Bernstein, and he goes back to Rosen. The Tigers will try to regroup. 30 seconds left on the power play. And 10:45 remaining first period here from the Rock for the New Jersey Public B State Championship. Knocked away, good defense there by McLaughlin. Good forecheck. McLaughlin has it banged away from him, and Bernstein tries to clear. Puts the brakes on. Impressive stop there by Bernstein in the circle. He has the puck across center ice and flips it all the way back into the Summit end. taken there by Eli Markowitz. He tries to flip it back, but nobody home there for the Tigers. And now here's McLaughlin. McLaughlin coming up, flips it over to Nyitray. Back to McLaughlin. Good idea, but too many Tenafly players there. Now Markowitz trying to gain control at the blue line. And two defenders back for Summit, able to knock it away. Power play has been extinguished, so good job by Summit to kill that one off. 9:50 remaining here in the first. No score between the Hilltoppers and the Tigers of Tenafly. And a whistle stops play. They want to...
What? Watch this from the short side. Quick shot. Bangs right off that short side post. Great shot by Brandon Bernstein as he was going for his 22nd of the season. Little help by the goalie's best friend, that short side post. And Garrett McGowan was able to deny the goal.
Faceoff came outside the blue line, and Nyitray flips it along the boards to Mike Bagley. Comes back now to Santina. Mike Santina flips it ahead to Jarrett Ross, the sophomore, and he carries ahead for Summit. Tenafly with 3 shots on goal so far. Summit has yet to put a shot on goal. We're on 1 hour. Eric Shalik, far side for Tenafly. And he flips it up ahead. McGowan sticks it aside. Tenafly student body on the far side of the arena, getting into it, trying to root on the Tigers. They've had a lot of great moments this year. 23-3-1. And of course, that's tremendous run in the postseason. All overtime wins.
Well, now each team has had about 2 or 3 shifts, so the butterflies are gone. You're into the game now.
Tenafly intercepts at center ice. Long shot glove there by McGowan. 8:31 remaining, and there look at the Tiger students. They've got their signs,
and they're in white.
Fired up for this one. If you get fired up for this one, I guess you never can, right? But they are excited to see Tenafly playing in the state championship game, an opportunity to take home the trophy.
How could you not be excited playing in this building? The job that the Devils do to sponsor this tournament, unbelievable.
Shot in front, and McGowan able to stick it aside. Richard Cho tried a little backhander there off the rebound, but unable to put it home. Now Will Bren for Summit. Hit hard. Flips it along the far side boards, and Summit trying to break out of there, but that pass is behind Ross. Richard Cho for Tenafly. He gets it all the way down the ice. Bernstein trying to take it away from a Summit defender, but here come the Hilltoppers. Jeff Wyckoff flips it up ahead. And a big hit at the blue line, delivered there by McLaughlin, able to knock the puck free. Now shot in front, and that one sticked aside by Winnow. He just got a little piece of his stick on it to deflect it.
Well, great shot from the slot, about 25, 30 feet out, but Winnow did a nice job putting that right blocker up there.
Chris Zanelli took the shot there for Summit, and now Tenafly skates across the blue line. Tigers bring it up. Eli Markowitz takes the shot. Stick aside there. McGowan looks like he might have lost it momentarily, and then trying to wrap around was Markowitz after he took that initial shot.
Well, you're absolutely right, Lou. He played the save, but they didn't know where the puck was. But on the wraparound, he did a tremendous job. There's your save. Now, where is it? Oop, it's to my left. But watch the quick wraparound right there by Markowitz. But credit McGowan getting that right pad down, making that short side post unattainable.
7 minutes remaining in a scoreless first period. Travis Harden for Summit. Flips it up ahead. Stopped at the blue line. Nicely done there by Tenafly to keep it alive in the Summit zone. And again, the Tigers flip it back in behind the goal. Will Bren. Bren comes up on the near side. And on the stick of Will Weber. He flips it all the way behind the Tenafly goal. Chased down there by Seth Porter of the Tigers. Center ice intercepted by the Tigers. They send it back towards their own end, and Winauer just had to kind of stop it. A very slow shot that kind of rolled towards him.
There were two players from Summit coming down the center of the slot. He played it safe and held on for the whistle. There we see shots 6-1 in favor of the Tigers.
We're going to be joined by a very special guest in the second period. Kevin Cywinski from the Record will be with us, and we'll talk to him about Tenafly's great postseason run, Bergen County hockey, which really has had quite a resurgence this year. That's coming up in the second period. We invite you to listen up for that. Here's a shot in front. Winauer able to knock it away. Tenafly has had the better of the play here in this first period. It comes out center ice. Austin Rosen tries to flip it back in, but Summit intercepts a long shot. Sticked aside by Winauer. John Winauer, 33-1 on the year. Has been spectacular in goal all season long for the Tigers. A team that plays tough, physical hockey. Usually low-scoring games. They rely on outstanding defense and great goaltending.
Well, I'm impressed with Tenafly tonight because the other night in the semifinal against Glen Rock, they came out slow. They did not come out with this kind of intensity. They're playing very strong here right from the opening drop.
They've outshot Summit 8-3 with 4:58 remaining here in this first period. Look at the Tigers from the Big North Conference. They play in the Gold Division. They were stunned this year in the title game of the Big North Conference, lost to Pascack Valley in overtime. Another overtime game. They've actually played 4 straight overtime games.
Yeah, that one they lost 5-4 in a heartbreak.
Oh, Winauer able to get his glove on it momentarily. It almost flipped by him.
I don't think he saw that all the way. There were a few bodies in front, and it kind of floated through the mass, and in the last second he stuck out the left arm just to get a little piece of it.
Senior Will Brent took the shot. Now here's a pass up ahead. Scott Shalick for Tenafly. He tries to center, but his pass goes wide, just past the crease. 4:25 left in the first. Still no score. Tenafly and Summit. Seth Porter for the Tigers. As it banged away from him, it comes on to the stick of Jason Vanderlinden. And then Eric Stabler able to chase it for Summit. Whistle stops play with 4:03 remaining in the first.
As you take a look at 16 and 25 for Tenafly, that is the Shalick brothers. Eric and Scott, both seniors, both fellas about 6 feet 4 inches. They're like trees on the ice. They're huge.
This entire Tenafly team with very good size. They've been able to utilize that big check at center ice. Jake Bernstein, the freshman, that was the worst part of that.
That was Nyitray. He caught a guy off guard, and he stepped in a la Scott Stevens for the Devils and really leveled Brandon Bernstein. We'll get another look at it. Head down, boom, right there you see it. Throwing the shoulder and the hip right into Bernstein, and that's Jake Bernstein, the freshman, who took his lumps on that one.
So the faceoff comes all the way down in the Tenafly end to the right of John Winauer. William McLaughlin takes it for Summit, but it's cleared out of there by Austin Rosen of Tenafly. Tigers with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Bernstein centers in front off the stick of Markowitz. Markowitz then tries to send it back, but nobody there for the Tigers. Slap shot deflected out in front, and Summit comes back the other way. Now Summit has an opportunity. Chris Zanelli feeds in front. Shot! Winauer makes the save in front! Little save by Winauer.
I was just about to say, what a great setup. 2 tremendous passes, but Winauer made a better save to deny some of the goal.
Here's Markowitz skating 1-on-4, takes a backhanded shot that sails through the crease. And the action really is picked up now with 3 minutes remaining here in the first period. That cross-ice pass deflected by Summit at center ice, picked off there by Will Brin of the Hilltoppers. Now McLaughlin intercepts, and offside is the call.
This is someone all over. Watch Nyitray as he slides the puck to his right. That's Wyckoff taking the shot. But John Winauer, the senior goalie, makes a great save right there, diving forward, using his left shoulder as they hit him somewhere up in the face and head area.
Up ahead it goes to Markowitz. That's Asif Markowitz. And he has it knocked away from him. The team's trying to dig it out of the near side boards. That shot sails up high and gloved there by McGowan, taken by Gary LaRue. High School Sports Desk now has dedicated regional coverage. You can watch 30 minutes dedicated to Long Island, New Jersey, New York City, or Hudson Valley, Connecticut. High School Sports Desk weeknights at 7 p.m. on MSG Varsity, only on Optimum, never on Fios, never on satellite. 2-on-1 opportunity for Summit. Here's the shot. Winauer makes another save, and the net comes loose.
Great opportunity by Summit. I believe it was Seth Porter, the senior defenseman for Tenafly, who came back and just gave a little tug to the Summit player. We'll get a better look at it right now. Nice pass as he slides it over. Now watch as he comes in. Yup, right there at Seth Porter. Actually flung the stick out and got a piece of the shot, so it was weakly directed towards Winauer.
Face off to the left of Winauer, who has been spectacular over the last several minutes here in this Public B State Championship.
Well, in the first half of the period, I think he saw one shot. And now in the last 5 minutes, he has seen 5.
Winauer sticks that one aside, taken by Eric Stabler. He sends it back out towards the blue line. Mike Santina tried to take a shot that was deflected out in front. Santina unable to save it, and Tenafly able to get a hold of the puck. It comes up onto the stick of Vanderlinden, and he chases down for the Tigers in the corner. Intercepted there by Jeff Wyckoff of Summit.
Now there's one of those sequoia trees. One of the Shattuck boys.
And Summit comes out with the loose puck. Up ahead, Jeff Wyckoff. Wyckoff has had a big season for Summit. Here in the playoffs, 2 assists in the Ramsey game, had 2 goals against Verona. Tenafly dumps it back into center ice. 1 minute left here in this first period. And a whistle stops play. Let's check in with Colin.
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm down here at the bench of Tenafly, and I'll tell you something. Winauer's been having one heck of a game thus far, and the coaches are preaching they owe it to their goaltender to start scoring some goals. In order to do so, they're going to need to start pressuring Summit and start crashing the net.
Thanks, Colin. Of course, that's been the story all season long, really, for Tenafly. Winauer's just been terrific in net, and the Tigers have had some very close, low-scoring games, and Winauer has come up big time and time again.
And we saw in the open, we saw a replay of the game against Glen Rock in the shootout. Who jumped higher after he made that save? Nobody. Winauer jumped about 3 feet in the air when he preserved that shootout win the other night at the Menon Arena.
Senior has stopped 91% of the shots he's faced this year. Summit and Tenafly, no score here in the first. There's a backhanded shot that is flipped high up over the goal. And then the Tigers trying to wrap it around, trying to kick it home in front was Jake Bernstein. Here comes Summit, 2-on-2. Up ahead to Stabler. Stabler takes the shot. He's dumped as he let that shot go. Just 25 seconds left in the first period. No score here at the Prudential Center. Brandon Bernstein finds Jordan Lang behind the goal, and a whistle stops play with 10.8 seconds remaining.
Now watch this move right off the face-off. He tries to go forward with it, almost able to put it in Good save by Garrett McGowan for Summit.
Brandon Bernstein to take this faceoff for Tenafly along with Liam McLaughlin, a super sophomore for Summit. There's a shot that whistles by the post, kind of caught Winauer by surprise and might have actually come off the stick of one of his own teammates.
That's exactly what happened, Lou. He was just trying to get the puck back behind the net, and he came dangerously close to putting it on net.
So the first period comes to an end. No score here at the Prudential Center. Tenafly and Summit playing for the Public B State Championship here in New Jersey. The Tigers have outshot the Hilltoppers 8-6. A tough defensive, physical first period of play at the Rock. Summit and Tenafly, no score here on MSG Varsity's Game Time. Welcome back to the Prudential Center here for this Public B State Championship game. Summit and Tenafly here on MSG Varsity's Game Time. Lou Brockner along with Pete Caggiano. No score after the first period. Tough defensive hockey game. Certainly no surprise.
No, not at all. Both teams a little tentative the first minute or two, but then the activity picked up, the pace picked up, and the shots picked up.
You take a look at some of the first half action, as you might guess, all physical, tough defensive play.
This is Wyckoff hitting the short side post, and then a great hit by Nyitray as he takes down the freshman Jake Bernstein. Here comes someone again. Nice pass over, shot. Great save as Flynn had a great opportunity there. Now watch it again. Here it comes. Shot saved by Winauer.
Winauer coming up big in that first period. Shots on goal. Tenafly 8-6 over Summit. Face-offs also won by the Tigers 11-6. Scoring chances. Tenafly had 4. Summit just 1. And there was just one power play opportunity for the Tigers in the first period. But we are scoreless after 1. And the second period of this Public B State Championship is coming up next right here on MSG Varsity's Game Time. Welcome back to the Prudential Center here in Newark. No score after the first period of play. Summit and Tenafly in the Public B State Championship game. Lou Brockner, Pete Caggiano, and we're joined by a very special guest. Kevin Cywinski from The Record is joining us here in the second period. And Kevin, it's a pleasure to have you with us. I know you've been covering Tenafly all season long. It's been quite a run for the Tigers, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've had a very good year. 11 seniors. They've been working really hard. They're more of a team. You know, and you've seen that here. They don't have one guy that stands out as a superstar, and they've worked like this all year. You know, it's a group effort. They kind of smother people. They don't really look to one player in particular to score goals, and one player in particular to play defense. It's just everybody all together. And in Bergen County, that's kind of unusual because there are a lot of big-time players in Bergen County.
What about the play of their goalie, John Winauer? He's been spectacular here tonight, but pretty much all season long, he's been a rock really for Tenafly.
He's been very steady. You know, during the season, he probably wasn't the best goalie in the county. There are a couple of them that are a tick better, but he's been the most consistent. And you see that tonight with that one save he made, the one that we came out and hit it off his face. He was fantastic in the shootout Wednesday night against Glen Rock. You know, he made a bunch of fantastic glove saves, really stonewalled them. So, yeah, he's a very steady guy in goal.
Kevin, it seemed like hockey in Bergen County exploded once the ice house in Hackensack was built, and then the ice vault in Wayne, and that pretty much really enhanced the growth. This way teams didn't have to go up to Sportorama to play.
You know, it did, and it's going to be a little different next year because there's a real good chance that McKay Park, where Tenafly plays, is going to be torn down this spring and replaced with a community center. So Tenafly might be looking for a new place, and Old Tapan also plays there. They might be looking for a new place. I know a lot of the teams don't like going up to Sportorama, but, you know, you have to go where the ice is. So
you've seen a lot of Bergen County hockey. What about Bergen County hockey here in this 2011-2012 season? What kind of thoughts have you had on the play in Bergen?
I've been pleasantly surprised. There are a lot of players who are much better than I thought they were going to be. I mean, when I say much better players, the top-notch guys. There are a couple of players on Paramus who are fantastic, scorers, J.J. Picanich, Mark Papadopoulos. The guy on Paramus Catholic, Dan Sabato, is fantastic. Pete McGinley from Ridgewood. These are all guys who are, mid-level, for here, good players. Mid-level Division I players. They're going to possibly go play junior hockey after this season for a year before they go to college. So I've been pleasantly surprised.
Right now we're going to check in with Colin Cosell down on the side at the ice. Colin?
Thanks, Lou. I'm down here with the head coach of the Tenafly Tigers, Andy Escala. Andy, that was a really hard-hitting first period. You got some great goaltending. What are going to be the keys going forward for your team to win this game?
We got to keep getting the pucks deep, get shots on goal, as many shots as we can, and keep hitting and playing good defense.
And what can you say about the goaltending of Winauer? Some really stellar saves there.
Yeah, John's coming up big, and he's been doing that all season, and he's going to keep doing it.
Excellent. Well, best of luck the rest of the way. Back to you, Lou.
Thank you.
All right, Colin. Some comments there from head coach Andy Escala of the Tenafly Tigers, and we're joined by Kevin Cywinski from The Record. And, Kevin, we're talking about Bergen County hockey, and several teams besides Tenafly had some outstanding seasons. We saw Glen Rock the other night, made a great run as a 15 seed in the state tournament. It was a great year for Bosco, of course. Ridgewood also had a very solid year. So, overall, it seems on the surface a pretty solid season for Bergen County hockey.
They had a nice job. And if you talk about Glen Rock, if you notice, they started their freshman goalie the last week or so of the season. And he hadn't been playing. He had been on the JV team most of the year. And the coaching staff decided to make a change. Serge Fernandez said, listen, this kid plays really well. He had a fantastic game against Morris Knowles 2 weeks before the end of the season. They put him in, and you look at the run that he had in the playoffs. He had a 108-minute scoreless streak going into the third period of the game the other night. So.
Well, Kevin, if you don't mind, I'd like to have you stick with us for a good portion of this second period.
Would love to.
Tenafly and Summit. No score as period number 2 begins here at the Prudential Center. Glad you can join us here on MSG Varsity. That shot whistles wide of the goal. The Tigers outshot Summit 8-6. Up ahead, Tenafly. There's a shot that goes through the crease.
Ooh, that was a half pass, half shot, and if he had gone one way or the other, either closer to his teammate coming down the left side or on goal, it would have been better. But there's a little indecision by Eric Shallett. I watch him, and where am I going with it? Well, it actually was on net. Credit McGowan with the save, but that might have caught the far low post.
So the face-off comes to the right of Garrett McGowan. Controlled by Summit. And the Hilltoppers go across ice. Good pass on the stick there of Chris Zanelli. Zanelli takes a shot, and Winauer able to make the save as he takes it and cradles it in his chest.
Zanelli, the freshman, who already has 4 goals in the playoffs this year, was trying to get his 5th, but John Winauer did a nice job squaring himself to the shooter and then trapping the puck against his chest.
And the face-off comes to the right now of Winauer. Quick shot that trickles off the glove there of Winauer.
That time Winauer got a little lucky because he got a piece of it, but not much.
Well, Kevin, it's been a tremendous run, obviously, for Tenafly in exciting fashion. Here's an opportunity for Markowitz, and that one is knocked away from him. Markowitz chases down behind the goal. But it's been a tremendous run, all these overtime wins. The community of Tenafly, they've got to be going wild this week with the play of their hockey team.
Based on the season that they had a 20-win season. It's been a very big year for them. And the community, I mean, you look at the crowd that they got here. A lot of the student body is here. They've really enjoyed this. And you were talking just a second ago about the player that was coming in there down the left side, Markowitz. He's been fantastic in these overtime games and in the shootouts. He scored the game winner in the shootout the other night. The game tire in the shootout. He scored the game winner in overtime against Montville earlier this week. He's really stepping up as a big-time player.
There's a quick slap shot deflected out in front by Will Weber of Summit. That shot was taken by Jordan Lang. Lang chases all the way behind the Tenafly goal. It comes back out towards the blue line. And Lang chases down again for the Tigers. Tenafly looking to clear it out, and they do. Good pass right on the stick there of Markowitz. And he goes up against two defenders, knocked away from him. Shots even now, 8-8. Hilltoppers and the Tigers. No score on the scoreboard. 12:45 remaining here, second period. Oh, a dangerous pass that skipped right through the crease.
Sometimes you got to be a little lucky.
But, you know, you look at this, and I was really thinking that with the extra ice surface, Summit would have the advantage here because Tenafly is not a speed team. They're more of a positional team. But Tenafly is really holding their own on the bigger ice.
There's a quick shot that whistles wide. Lang able to keep it alive, and then behind the goal is Shallot. He has it knocked away from him. Tries to center. And the Hilltoppers able to bring it across center ice. Mike Badgley for Summit had it knocked away from him, and here comes Tenafly. Puck flipped behind the goal. Chased down in the far corner. Taken by Shallot against two defenders. Shallot trying to center now. Looking, but tough defense there by Nyitray. He is so tough on that back line for Summit.
Summit seems to be waking up here a little bit, carrying a little more of the pressure, keeping the puck down inside the Tenafly zone.
The puck flipped in there by Mike Santina of Summit. Then Tenafly chases down. Well, this is pretty much the way the Tigers have played throughout the postseason, right? Tough, close, defensive games.
Yeah, and you know what? I think if it comes down to it again, they are, in talking to the kids and talking to Coach Scala, this is a team that if this game comes down to the last 4 or 5 minutes or heads into overtime, they're really not worried. They actually were excited the other night when it went to overtime when they were able to tie it up because they're very good. They're confident now. They don't think that they can be beat when it gets into that situation. Problem is getting to that situation.
And again, we're joined by Kevin Cywinski from the Record, and we thank him for joining us here in the second period. He has covered Tenafly and Bergen County hockey all season long. There's an opportunity there for Summit. And Jeff Wyckoff unable to pull the trigger in front. Quick shot goes wide, taken there by Chris Zanelli.
Zanelli already has 4 goals this playoff. Almost got his 5th, but he put it wide.
Scott Shallot takes it across the blue line, and that shot deflects off the pads there of Garrett McGowan. There's a real tough chance he's had here in this second period.
Both goaltenders being tested here.
Brandon Bernstein with a big hit on the boards. Intercepted here by Summit. You see 2 players getting into it. Bernstein finally picks up his stick as he was taken down to the ice by a Summit defender.
I think he kind of got away with one. If this wasn't a state playoff game, there might have been a call right there.
9:40 remaining, second period. No score here at the Prudential Center in this Public B state championship.
You know, you say that he got away with it if it wasn't a state final. They played a remarkably clean game. There hasn't been a lot of nastiness. There hasn't been a lot of rough stuff.
That's because you have 2 good coaches, 2 very disciplined teams.
Well, this is kind of the same way the game went against Summit's game against Ramsey went the other night. They kind of hung around and laid low. They got a bunch of power plays in the second period, and boom, and 3 goals in a minute and a half, and that was the game.
Seth Porter put a shot on goal and a dangerous rebound in front, but there was no one home there for the Tigers to slap it home.
Well, these 2 teams are very, very well matched. Both teams averaged about 5 goals per game, and both averaged giving up a little less than 2 per game. They both came into tonight with 23 wins. You can't get any closer than that.
Tenafly keeping the pressure on, but Summit finally able to get it out of there. Now here's Mike Santina. Chases down here for the Hilltoppers. Takes it in the corner. Goes to Eric Stabler. He tries to center in front. Here's a slap shot opportunity. Nyitray takes the shot that's deflected out in front. Nyitray, an offensive defenseman, if you will, with 17 goals and 19 assists on the year. There's another quick slap shot that comes from the blue line, this time taken by Mike Santina. And Summit now, again, putting on the pressure a little bit here in the second period. 8 minutes remaining in the second. No score. Tenafly has outshot the Hilltoppers 10-8. In front, and Winauer able to make that stop. Another dangerous play as it kind of crept up his pad a little bit.
Well, that's because Frank Lawrence, the senior forward, redirected that puck from about 10 feet out. It bounced down, but Winauer, playing good position on the initial shot, was able to make the save.
Here's Nyitray set up again. Slap shot deflected again.
Oh, that hurt him. Number 15 got hurt on that.
And another one that sticked aside by Winauer. And the Hilltoppers all of a sudden really putting on the pressure. Nyitray flips it in front. Wyckoff just couldn't get his stick on it. And he tries to center. And the whistle stops play.
The net came off. Watch some of this work around the net. This is Christianelli. Just wide. And then watch some of the more action in front. Shot comes from the point. Redirected right there by Frank Lawrence. And great save by John Winauer. Oh, yeah, you see him get the left pad. And look how smart he was, how aware he was to use his paddle to get the puck out of harm's way and put the rebound in the corner.
And the face-off to the right of Winauer. Approaching 7 minutes remaining. There's a shot. Winauer makes a sprawling save. And then the rebound is deflected in front. Summit had 3 cracks at it and could not put it home. What a save by Winauer on the initial shot.
That's an ESPN play of the day save. That was spectacular with that right pad. Point blank, he denied Summit.
Saved by the Hilltoppers. Now the Tigers with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Here's Markowitz has his shot deflected. So Asap Markowitz, the senior, took the shot, and it was deflected, and play is stopped.
There it comes in front. Notice he gets that right toe just enough, and then the fistmen coagulate that area, preventing Zanelli from getting off a good shot. Just outstanding. We'll see this a few times this week on MSG Varsity Desk.
And look how deep he starts back in the net. He doesn't come out and challenge as much as some of the other goalies I've seen this year. He will stay back there and wait for the puck to come to him.
Tenafly able to keep it in now in front, and it's knocked away by Nyitray, and he sends it up to center ice. Chasing down there Jordan Lang of Tenafly, and it comes behind the Tigers' goal. 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the second. In front, intercepted by Tenafly. Scott Shalleck takes it across the blue line. Leaves it behind, and that shot deflected in front, taken by Eric. There's a quick shot in front. The rebound is loose in front, not cleared by Summit, still loose. And it skips past Garrett McGowan. Good opportunity there for the Tigers.
Again, McGowan this time coming up big 2 times, point blank, to stop the Tigers.
Shots are 12-10 now in favor of Tenafly. And it's shot all the way down the ice, and icing is the call. Well, Kevin, I know you've been covering high school sports for a long time. I know you also covered the Mets for a while.
Yes, covered the Mets for MLB.com and for the Record for about 7 years. Working now covering the Phillies farm system and the Cubs and the White Sox farm system for Comcast down in Philadelphia and out in Chicago. It's a welcome relief to do this. I was talking to somebody when I was coming in today. Years ago in another life, I covered the Big East. And
there's a shot deflected wide off the stick there of McGowan.
McGowan, not a particularly big goaltender. That time he had to raise that right arm and use that big waffle on his right hand to make that save.
You know, when I was previously at the Record, I covered the Big East, and I was in these buildings all the time. This is my first time down here, though. It's a nice setup they have down here. It's a beautiful building.
And the Devils do a great job hosting this state tournament finals. And what a thrill it is for the kids to be able to play on this ice. It's really, it's the memory of a lifetime, win or lose.
Oh, and you know what? In talking to some of the kids from Tenafly yesterday, that's what they said. They were very much appreciative of the fact that the Devils do this and that they were going to be here. And obviously they want to win, but they said, listen, this is something that I'm always going to have to look back on.
Here's a shot in front, and Liam McLaughlin could not just couldn't get enough of it.
No, that time you got to credit Winauer. He poke checked the puck. That time somebody was coming around the side, and a little poke check stopped the opportunity. Take a look. There's a nice pass. Oh, you see the stick? He just jabs out with that right stick. Let's take another look from over the top. You're going to see the pass. There it is. Great play as he denies Frank Lawrence the opportunity in front.
That's a fantastic move. I haven't seen a lot of goalies use the stick. They don't use the kid on Glen Rock, Birdsall, the freshman, used the stick very well. But I have not seen a lot of stick play from the goalies. They don't seem to be able to handle it as well as some of the older kids or some of the junior players.
4:07 remaining here. Second period, no score. Summit and Tenafly. This Public P state final. Here for the Prudential Center in Newark. Austin Rosen tries to keep it in for the Tigers, but it comes out to center ice now. Summit had an opportunity, but Zanelli ran into the official. And Tenafly tries to center, but nobody there for the Tigers. Now Summit coming back the other way. Here's McLaughlin. He goes cross ice to Zanelli. It's knocked away there by the Tigers. Good defensive play by Austin Rosen. 3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the second.
It just continues, and this holds up into the third period. This is going to be a perfect setup for Tenafly in the third period. I don't know how much Summit is used to playing in a tight game like this. If you look at their season, they've kind of been ahead of everybody and blown a lot of people out. This is the kind of game Tenafly thrives on, and they've done it for the last 3 weeks. They've really played a lot of tight games, and they stepped up in the third period and in the overtime session when they've been in this position.
Well, Kevin Rowan, thank you very much for joining us here in the second period, and continued success to you at the Record, and we look forward to reading your columns and articles on this great hockey season.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, Kevin Cywinski from the Record. Thanks very much for joining us. Thank you.
Great save by Winauer as he took that shot point blank right in the breadbasket.
2:35. Counting down. Second period. No scores. Summit and Tenafly. Brandon Bernstein behind the goal for the Tigers. Try to wrap around. And McGowan able to make the save.
And we take a look at Will Weber. The senior forward. He signed to play at Holy Cross for lacrosse next year. In fact, a couple guys from the Summit Hilltoppers are going to go and play big-time college lacrosse next year.
They've set a tremendous lacrosse program the last several years. They have become the power in New Jersey. There's a quick shot, score!
That's what speed can do. When you can outrace your man along the outside and get a step. That time, Winauer was not quite quick enough to get to that short side. And you see the Summit side celebrating. Watch this move as he powers around the outside, takes that shot, and there it is. Boy, is he happy? What do you think? We'll get a better look right here. And there's the shot. Nyitray scores his fifth, the first of the evening.
That would be his fifth goal in the playoffs, his 18th of the season. Mike Nyitray, as we said, he's an offensive-minded defenseman. And that was a blistering shot.
And we'll get another look at it. The only place he plays defense is on the roster where it has D next to his name for defense, because he's an offensive type guy. He loves to put the puck in the net.
So Nyitray gives the Hilltoppers a 1-0 lead. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the second period.
Scored by number 18, Andrew Mankowski. Assisted by number 20, Will Person-Gary. Time to goal, 12:55. It's Mankowski from Cortland, Sydney area. That is 12:55.
Let's see how Tenafly answers the bell here in the last minute or so.
Quick shot deflected, and it comes back to center ice, and a race to the puck, won by Summit. Mike Santina able to knock it away before Scott Shallett could get to it for Tenafly.
Good effort by Santina as he outraced the big guy.
In front, score! Shallett sets up Eric Shallett, and he puts it home for the Tigers.
The brothers connect on a pass from behind the net. And I asked how are they going to answer the bell? Well, they did it beautifully right there. That's Scott from behind the net, picks his head up, sees where he is. Quick pass in front. Nobody's covering Eric. Eric, left-handed shot, smacks that puck by McGowan to tie the score at 1. You think he's happy? Yeah, I guess so.
His 19th of the season, ties the game at 1. 58 seconds remaining here in this second period, and the action has really heated up over the last several minutes. And there's your goal scorer for the Tigers.
It's been a slow building process from the opening drop. By the time we got to the second period here, the intensity was starting to build. In the last 3 minutes, it's been tremendous as both teams have really risen to the occasion.
Eric, one of 11 seniors on this Tenafly team. They all felt coming into this 2011-2012 campaign that this would be their season. Here they are, playing in the school's first ever state championship game.
Assisted by number 16, Scott Shayla. Final goal, 13:54. That's Shayla.
Eli Markowitz.
12-16, Scott Shayla at 13:54.
Good pressure here by the Hilltoppers.
And that shot deflected in front. Winauer made a pad save. 20 seconds remaining here in the second period. Chased down here by Seth Porter. Porter of Tenafly tries to dig it out. And they get it back to Vanderlinden for the Tigers. He flips it all the way down into the Summit zone. Then Travis Harden tries to center there for the Hilltoppers. Picked off there by Brandon Bernstein, and the second period comes to an end. Well, a lot of excitement in the closing moments of that second period. There's the goal scorer for the Hilltoppers.
He's a little spent right now, but I'm sure somewhere he'll find the energy for the last 15 minutes.
So Summit and Tenafly tied at 1 at the end of 2 periods of play here at the Prudential Center. A lot of fierce action in period number 2. Winauer making some great saves. Nyitray gives the Hilltoppers a 1-0 lead. And Tenafly able to answer as Eric Shallett puts it home 1-1 after 2 on MSG Varsity's Game Time. Welcome back to the Prudential Center in Newark. This, the Public B State Championship game, Summit and Tenafly tied at 1. Lou Brogno along with Pete Caggiano, and a tough defensive battle continues, but both teams really came alive offensively in the last 5 minutes of that second period.
Well, the beginning of the period, continuation of the first period. But by midway through that second period, throw caution to the wind. Both teams were trying to put the puck in the net, and it took until just 2 minutes to go, and then 1 minute to go before we saw the twine bulge in the back of the net.
Well, the Hilltoppers' outstanding defenseman, Mike Nyitray, got things going for Summit. He scored at the 12:55 mark, the assist from Frank Lawrence, and then Eric Shalik got the goal for Tenafly just moments later to tie things up. The assist coming from Scott Shalik, and we are tied at 1. And here's a look at some of that second period action.
This is just power around the outside. He shoots. Went out, almost got it. It kind of trickles through the pad. You'll see from here, boom, hits the right pad, and then hits the back of the net. And then this is Tenafly. Watch the pass from behind the net. Brother to brother. Bang. Eric scores the goal on a pass from his brother Scott. That's his 19th of the season. And with just a minute remaining in the second period, they tied it up.
Take a look at the numbers through 2 periods. Tenafly out shooting Summit 17-13. Face-offs very close at 17-15 in favor of the Hilltoppers. Hits 6-5. Scoring chances 8-7 Summit. As you can see, it's close throughout, and it couldn't get any closer on the scoreboard. We are tied at 1 after 2 in the New Jersey State Public B Championship game here at the Rock in Newark. Summit and Tenafly 1-1 as we head to the third on MSG Varsity's Game Time. Welcome back to the Prudential Center. Summit and Tenafly tied at 1. Lou Brogno, Pete Caggiano. Let's check in with Colin Cosell.
Thanks, Lou. I'm standing here with Coach Keith Nixon. Coach, it was a pretty hard-hitting game there for the first couple of periods. Towards the end of the second period, it started to pick up. What did you tell your team in the locker room to actually seal the deal here in the third period?
We just got to get into our flow and our game. We're a speed team, and we got to win the battles. It's two good defensive clubs going at it right now, and whoever blinks is going to lose right now.
All right, Coach. Now, you hadn't seen the Tenafly team before. How were you able to scout them, and how are you going to be able to scout them out going into this third period?
I watched them play a couple of times. I talked to other coaches. I've got them on film, so we're prepared.
All right, Coach. Best of luck the rest of the way. Back to you, Lou.
All right, Colin. Head coach Keith Nixon has done a great job with this Summit team this year. 23 wins on the season for the Hilltoppers. And they are tied 1-1 here in this state championship game. It's their first state final, by the way, since 2000. They played at the Meadowlands Arena there and lost that season, so they have never won the state title, but they did play in that 2000 state final. And on the other side for Tenafly, this is their first ever championship game appearance. They did make it to the Elite Eight in 2003 and 2005. The Tigers 23-3-1 on the year. Well, stay up to a minute with all things high school. Follow MSG Varsity on Twitter. You can get the very latest scores, play-by-play information, and tweets from your community. Follow MSG Varsity on Twitter. Now go to twitter.com/MSG Varsity. Tenafly and Summit tied at 1. And we go to period number 3.
And Lou, if everything stays according to form, this may or may not be the last period for these two teams.
A long way to go as the third period just begins, but keep in mind, in state championship finals, there is an overtime period, but no shootout. If the two teams are tied at the end of overtime, they are crowned co-champions.
That is correct.
Tenafly able to keep it in there. It goes behind the goal. Chased down by Eric Schalick. He flips it over, intercepted there by Mike Santina. Both teams scoring a goal in the second period, and the whistle stops play. 14:09 remaining here in the third.
And you take a look at the Summit bench. Keith Nixon doing a good job rotating his lines, keeping fresh kids out there. But every minute and a half, he changes his troops. And you take a look at Keith in his 18th season behind the bench. If he wins tonight, it'll be number 227.
Tigers trying to dig it out of the corner. Some tough play there by Liam McLaughlin, the sophomore for Summit. And McLaughlin able to flip it up ahead, and here comes Wyckoff. Jeff Wyckoff has it poked away from him. Good defense by the Tigers. Eli Markowitz tries to chase it down for Tenafly. And Will Glenn, senior forward, flips it up ahead for Summit. Here comes Wyckoff, who's had a big offensive season for the Hilltoppers. He leaves for Liam McLaughlin, the sophomore, and it's knocked away from him. Here comes Tenafly across the blue line. Long shot there that is deflected in front, and Garrett McGowan, a rather easy save there.
It was a little dangerous, Lou, because he let the rebound come right back out in front, and he needed the help of his defenseman to clear the puck.
Max Drutt of Tenafly flips it back. Now making a charge across center ice is Austin Rosen, but he has it knocked off his stick. And play stops with 12:50 remaining. Well, MSG Varsity would like to thank Mike Levine and his whole staff here with the New Jersey Devils for all their hospitality. Great facility here at the Prudential Center. The Devils, of course, have been fantastic partners once again. So thanks to Mike and all of the New Jersey Devils staff. Such a great pleasure to come here and bring you the excitement of the New Jersey State Hockey Championship games here on MSG Varsity.
And Lou Lamorello, a real proponent of high school hockey. He said that yesterday at the luncheon. This is really one of the true joys in his life. He remembers his high school days back in Rhode Island, and he always gives strong words of encouragement to the players.
Jordan Lang for Tenafly. Flips it up ahead to center ice. Shots are 18-13 in favor of the Tigers. Intercepted there by Isaac Markowitz. And he has it knocked away from him. 1-1 hockey game. Frank Lawrence has it knocked away. Tenafly, good defense in their own zone. Down to 11:40 remaining in the third period.
Good forechecking here by Summit to keep Tenafly pinned in their own net.
And a whistle stops play with 11:25 remaining. And we talked about Tenafly having 11 seniors. Well, Summit has 9 seniors on their team. So both of these teams felt coming into this season that this would be the year that they would make that magical run. And of course they both have, getting to the state championship game.
Well, the last time Summit was here was back in the year 2000, and they dropped that contest to Bayonne that year.
Summit red hot coming into this championship. 7 straight wins, and they've also won 13 of their last 14. That's a great way to end the season, end the regular season, and of course they've continued that play throughout the postseason.
Well, the goal every year is to win your final game, because if you do that, chances are it's a championship.
Scott Shalick splits the defenders in front. Eric Shalick trying to poke it home. It comes back out towards the blue line. And Scott tries to center. Cannot. Here comes Summit. Nyitray across the blue line. Skates in. Backhands it, but nobody home there for the Hilltoppers. And it comes back towards center ice. And now Tenafly makes a run across the center ice line. Good defense there by Chris Zanelli, who was able to poke it free from behind.
Yeah, great back checking by Zanelli, the freshman, as he just got a piece of the Tenafly player, not allowing him to get off the good shot.
10 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Here in the third. We're tied at 1. Poked up ahead by the Tigers. Markowitz could not get a stick on it, and Summit able to keep it in at the blue line. Intercepted here by Mike Badgley of Summit. And taken by Seth Porter of Tenafly. Puts it on the stick to Bernstein. Jake Bernstein, though, hit from behind. Again, good defense by Summit on the backside. Porter intercepts here for Tenafly.
Bernstein was trying to split the defense, and it collapsed quickly to cut him off.
There's a shot off the chest of Winauer. And the rebound comes loose. Here's Tenafly. Markowitz, Eli Markowitz takes a slap shot. The rebound bounces off the pads of McGowan, but nobody there for Tenafly to clean up.
Well, this game is opened up again, just like the end of the second period.
8:55 remaining in the third. Tied at 1 in the Public Peace State Championship. Austin Rosen loses. Here's a chance. Shot up high. Over the crossbar. Bangs off the glass.
You can't do that in this situation. Eric Shallett had the puck about 25, 30 feet out, dead center, and he put it higher than 4 feet and over the cage.
And Summit coming back the other way. Here's a shot that goes through the crease, taken there by Eric Stabler. Kept in by the Hilltoppers. Stabler gets it on the far side, tries to feed it over to Riley Flynn. Intercepted by the Tigers, and restolen by Summit. Good job there by Frank Lawrence, the senior. Riley Flynn sends it back. Long slap shot in front, and Winauer covers up, but Frank Lawrence was there for the rebound.
This is the action we've been waiting for. Watch this opportunity by Tenafly. Here's the center pass. He couldn't quite get a piece of it. 2 whacks, 3 whacks by Eric Shallett, but he couldn't put it past McGowan. There you see. Look, it's sitting right there in the crease. It's open, and it finally is cleared away by Wyckoff. Now watch down the other end. Shot, and then diving after that puck was the Summit forward, looking to chip in the rebound, but he was unable to do that.
Jeff Wyckoff loses and intercepted by Tenafly. Flipped along the far side boards. Markowitz with a good pass on the stick to Vanderlinden. Vanderlinden now chases down behind the goal, takes a big hit from Travis Harden into the boards.
But he got right back up. He's probably one of the smallest guys on the ice at 5'4". Didn't faze him.
7.5 remaining in the third. Chased down here by Seth Porter. Porter puts the brakes on behind the Tenafly goal. Plays his own pass off the boards and flips it up ahead to Vanderlinden. Now Porter retrieves for Tenafly. Goes cross ice with that pass to Brandon Bernstein. Bernstein circles around, takes it across the blue line. Splits 2 defenders and then takes a shot. Loses the puck, and here come the Hilltoppers. Summit now across the blue line. That shot is sticked aside there by Winauer. 6:53 and counting down here in the third period. Still tied at 1. Long slap shot is wide by Nyitray, and it carries back out to the blue line, but kept in by Santina. He flips it back in, centered in front. Winauer sprawls and is able to get the puck out of there. Markowitz intercepts here for Tenafly. Kept in by the Tigers. Shalik sends it back, and it comes all the way back down into the Tenafly end, and icing is the call.
And that was our featured player, Eli Markowitz, turning on the Jets. Watch this play. This is 2 guys taking out and rubbing out Brandon Bernstein as he tried to split the defense. And then a good shot and saved by Winauer.
6:17 on the clock here in the third. Face-off controlled by the Hilltoppers. Summit sends it up to center ice. Poked back in, though, by Jordan Lang. And Tenafly trying to come back the other way. Here is Chalik. Eric Chalik trying to center. Knocked away there by the Hilltoppers. Ed Summit brings it across center ice, flips it all the way down. Winauer sticks it aside. Cleared behind the goal there by Austin Rosen of the Tigers. Ed Summit intercepts at center ice.
Lou, both teams doing a very good job of having three players back, not just the two defensemen. One winger at all times is coming back to help out the defense as we get down to crunch time.
Slap shot deflected out in front.
Oh, that's giving up the body. That was Scott Chalik dropping down, smothering the shot.
Outstanding defensive play by the Tiger senior, and it comes out to center ice.
Put a little ice pack on it after the game. Don't worry about it. Give up your body in this situation.
It's a state championship, right?
That's right.
Up ahead, Wyckoff able to poke it free here for Summit. Flipped behind the goal. Big hit delivered behind the net there by Chris Zanelli. Zanelli now chases down the loose puck. And Summit able to center. Nyitray fans on the shot. And it comes out of the zone.
A little bit of lapse of concentration by Nyitray as he was looking where the shot was going rather than keeping it on his stick.
There's Markowitz. Markowitz trying to center himself, but he had it poked away from him.
That was Travis Hardin, the senior defenseman. Great move.
Markowitz trying to center in front, looking for Brandon Bernstein. And it comes back out now to the blue line and all the way down into the Tenafly zone. Winauer covers up and whistle stops play with 4:23 remaining in the third period.
Well, this is what happens when you play state championship games. I'm going down. I'll sacrifice my body. Scott Chalik drops down and smothers that shot, not allowing it to get anywhere near John Winauer.
Face off to the right of Winauer. Controlled by Tenafly. Summit, though, able to intercept in the corner. That one in front. Kind of rolled around in the crease.
Yeah, you're going to see teams take shots from any angle now because all you need is one break, one bounce, and you got it.
And Ryan Markowitz sends it up to Jake Bernstein. Now Markowitz chases down behind the Summit goal. He's tripped up there, loses the puck, and then takes a big hit from Will Weber behind the goal. Kept in nicely there by Brandon Bernstein, and then across the blue line, that stops play.
Bernstein played the puck above the height of 4 feet. Watch, there's one there, a little bit of a trip, not really. Now watch this pop, boom, right there. As Will Weber uses that big 6'1" frame to level the Tenafly player.
Face off to the left of John Winauer. Controlled by the Hilltoppers. Eric Stabler in front, comes on to the stick now of Asaph Markowitz. They're trying to poke it ahead are the Tigers, but Summit sends it back into the zone. Nyitray flips it up ahead. Intercepted there by Markowitz. Down to 3:20 remaining in the third period. Is Tenafly headed for yet another overtime? Remember, they've played 4 consecutive overtime games.
Well, as you were saying that, Lou, I was looking down at the ice, and Asaph Markowitz, the senior, was hanging out.
Winauer able to cover up as Summit almost was able to poke that loose puck in.
That time Winauer had to be quick, he had to be aware, he had to have eyes in the back of his head as that puck was sitting just to his left, and at the last moment he saw it and put the left glove over the top. Here's the action. Watch, there's the wraparound attempt to save. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm going to stick out that left glove and smother it against my leg pad.
Face-off controlled by the Tigers. Sent up ahead. There's Markowitz. Markowitz ahead of 2 defenders. Shoots and a glove save made by McGowan. And Markowitz takes a shot into the boards. He crashes head first into the boards after he took the shot.
Well, he paid the price. He went around that outside, gets this pass. He's a right-handed shot on the left side. And who comes over to hit him? Of course, it's Nyitray. Also credit McGowan for doing a great job with the left glove to make the save. You get a better look at it. There's the shot. There's the hit. All the while, McGowan has the puck in his glove.
Face-off controlled by Summit. A race to the puck. Won by Tenafly. Taken there by Jordan Lang, and he flips it all the way back to center ice. 2:40 remaining here in this third period. Up ahead to Markowitz. Eli Markowitz goes cross ice. Bernstein able to flip it up ahead. It comes back to the blue line and kept in there by Tenafly. Good job by Austin Rosen. Of course, the Tigers want to see if they can get it on the stick of Eli Markowitz, an outstanding goal scorer with 22 goals on the year. And a whistle blows the play dead. Well, I want to take an opportunity to let you know that the executive producer of MSG Varsity's Game Time is Michael Lardner. Our senior coordinating producer is Marty Ehrlich. Our vice president of programming operations, Sean Kennedy. Our director of studio and remote operations, Brian Butler. Coordinating producer is Brian Morrow. Our producer is Nick Monninghoff, and our director, Tom Nieberg. And our technical director, Ellen Welch. And, of course, our outstanding MSG Varsity crew, bringing you the excitement of the New Jersey State Hockey Championships here from the Prudential Center. 2 minutes remaining here in the third period.
Who's going to be the hero, Lou? Who's going to step up tonight?
Nyitray chases down here for the Hilltoppers. He has the lone Summit goal here this evening. He flips it up ahead. And it's picked off there by the Tigers. They send it back in. 1.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Tied at 1 in the Public B Championship. Skips off the stick there. And kept in by Summit as they change. And Tenafly able to flip it back. Now Summit onside. Up ahead is McLaughlin. Liam McLaughlin takes a shot behind the goal there by Seth Porter. Good check into the boards. 1 minute remaining in regulation.
That was a great job by Seth Porter, just easing him out of the play behind the net.
At center ice, Tenafly flips it in. And whistle blows play dead.
Lou, to inform our fans, if this game does end in a tie after regulation, we will play a sudden victory, 1 period, 15-minute overtime. And if after that overtime nobody scores, they will be declared co-champs. We do not do a shootout in championship games.
Face-off to the right of Winauer. Controlled by Tenafly. Here's Markowitz flying across center ice. He flips it in. 35 seconds left in regulation. Chased down by Vanderlinden in the corner for Tenafly. And now Riley Flynn comes out of there with it for Summit. He goes across ice. Stabler takes the long shot. That whistles wide of the goal. 22 seconds left in regulation. Tenafly digs it out. Tigers trying to make one last run. Up ahead, it goes on the stick of Eli Markowitz. Markowitz trying to center, but nobody there for the Tigers in front. And we're under 10 seconds now left in regulation. And that, the long shot, sticked aside by Winauer. That will do it. And we are going overtime here in the Public B State Championship. Summit and Tenafly tied at 1. The Tigers looking at their 5th straight overtime game.
Well, it's true to pattern. I mean, this is what they play for. And as people have been saying all week, they feel confident in this situation. Heck, it's worked every time.
So we go OT here at the Prudential Center. Tenafly and Summit tied at 1 here on MSG Varsity's Game Time. Welcome back to the Prudential Center. We are getting ready for overtime. Summit and Tenafly tied at 1 in this Public B State Championship. John Winauer, the goalie of Tenafly, Seen a lot of overtime games, and he says he'd like regulation, but not today.
I'd like an easy one. Regulation would be nice. I'd really appreciate a regulation one. This is the first round was overtime also. Another shootout.
Well, John says he'd appreciate regulation, but that's not what he's going to see here. Overtime.
And he's in a unique.
Let's check in with Colin.
Hey guys, well, you can't beat overtime, can you? And you can't beat the mood on both benches. I was able to listen in to both coaches, Scala and Nixon, both of them preaching the same thing. Get the puck to the net, try to capitalize, and try to put this puppy to bed. A little more kind of tension over on the Summit side of things. Tenafly a little more calm, cool, and collected. We'll see how it plays out for either team.
All right, Colin. Well, of course, on Thursday at the Prudential Center, the New Jersey Devils hosted their annual luncheon for all the teams taking part in tonight's championship games. Lou Lamoriello, the CEO, president, and general manager, was the keynote speaker, and all the teams were there, including India Scallon, the Tigers of Tenafly, and Keith Nixon and the Summit Hilltoppers. So it was a great afternoon and opportunity for all 6 teams involved in these 3 championship games at the Prudential Center to be there. In a moment, they'll always remember it.
Again, just another display of the commitment the New Jersey Devils have to high school hockey. There we took a look at our goal scorer. That's Eric Shalik, who popped in his 19th for Tenafly.
So here we go. As you said before, Pete, who will the hero be? Tenafly and Summit facing off at center ice in overtime of the Public B State Championship. And the crowd is fired up. It is sudden victory overtime, a 15-minute period. Oh, that was dangerous passing in front, and that was deflected away there by Winauer.
Well, in overtime, there's a couple of ways to play. You can back up, play defense, and look for an opportunity, hope for the other team makes a mistake, or you can just go all out and try to put the puck in the net.
Icing will bring the face-off back into the Tenafly end. We are tied at 1, both goals scored in the second period. Mike Nyitray putting the Hilltoppers in front, and Eric Shalik just moments later tying the game at 1.
We just had a look at Eli Markowitz, the guy who scored the goal in overtime against Montville and then went home in the shootout against Glen Rock.
Off the face-off, it's sent all the way back into the Summit end, and the Hilltoppers chase it down there. Will Bren sends it up ahead for Summit. And poked ahead there by Jason Vanderlinden of Tenafly.
The other question, Lou, is who has some gas left in the tank? You're now going into a 4th period here. In a game where you might have a little bit of nerves, the adrenaline might be a little different.
Race to the puck, cleared there by Tenafly. That puck went flying into the Tigers' bench area.
Good job by Tenafly to get back defensively. You can see the players are leaning over the bench. They're dying to get out there. They want their shot at being a hero, as Christianelli was giving his best opportunity, his best effort right there.
Again, face-off comes to the right of Winauer. That shot sails high up off the glass. Kept in there by Tenafly as they try to clear it out. Shalik, good job at the blue line and then poked away. Asa Markowitz loses. And Jeff Wyckoff sends it behind the goal. In front! And Tenafly there to knock it away. And another shot bouncing around in front there, and Winauer jumps on top of the loose puck.
Action buzzing all around the senior John Winauer. Summit looking to hoist the cup with a goal right there. Watch the save, and then again just gets that left glove out to hold on to the puck as the rebound was right at the top of the crease there. See him use his stick to cradle and bring it back into his glove.
Wyckoff off the face-off, tried to center, intercepted there by Tenafly. Summit's had the best of the play here. That shot goes off the chest of Winauer, taken by Nyitray from the blue line. Liam McLaughlin tried to center, comes back to the blue line, sent back in by Mike Santina of the Hilltoppers. Tenafly can't seem to clear it out of their zone.
Oh, good job by the Hilltoppers here, putting the pressure and putting the forechecking defenseman staying at the blue line to keep the puck in the zone.
And Tenafly still unable to clear. Now it comes all the way back onto the stick of Isaac Markowitz, and he sends it all the way back into the Summit end. Nyitray intercepts there and has it. Feeds it onto the stick of Wyckoff. Up ahead, Nyitray on the right wing. Wraps behind the goal. Nyitray loses, but kept there in there by Stabler. There's an opportunity, and it goes through the crease.
Well, Summit is not playing defensively. They're going after this. They want it. They are putting the puck on the net. They are charging into the Tenafly zone.
Jake Bernstein trying to chase down there for Tenafly, but Summit getting to the loose pucks here in this overtime period. Up ahead it goes to Stabler. Stabler tries to feed it into the zone, and it's taken there by Seth Porter of Tenafly. He flips it all the way into the Summit end. Sticked aside there by Garrett McGowan, the goalie. 11 minutes, 15 seconds left in overtime. Seth Porter for Tenafly feeds Eli Markowitz, but the Hilltoppers able to get to the puck. Liam McLaughlin sends it back. Here's a shot, and Winauer lost it momentarily, and the official blows the whistle. So Winauer stopped it, but then he couldn't find the puck.
Well, the official was on the other side of the goal, and it appeared that Winauer had the puck chapped against his chest right there. But see, then he takes a bump from Zanelli. Got away with a little one there. But at that point, the official had lost sight of the puck, and he blew the whistle. But again, the strong pressure by Summit all around the Tenafly goal.
Puck pinned along the boards, and the official blows the whistle.
Well, the official allowed players time to get the puck clear in that situation, but that time it wasn't moving anywhere. Good effort. Both teams really coming out hard, especially Summit here. But I'll tell you what, Garrett McGowan, he's got to stay focused because his partner there, his nemesis Winauer, is getting all the pressure. Sometimes one shot the other way, if you're not prepared, can do it.
Face off. Controlled by the Hilltoppers. And Tenafly able to send it up ahead. Scott Chalik chases down. It comes to center ice. Tenafly unable to get anything going here consistently in overtime. The Hilltoppers have controlled things in this overtime period. They now have outshot Tenafly in the game 23-21.
We're all night I've been mentioning how even these teams are, and it's just so classic that they're playing an overtime game tonight.
That one skips by the stick of Mike Santina and comes all the way down into the Summit end. The Hilltoppers try to clear it out of there. They do to center ice. Austin Rosen gets control for Tenafly. He flips it across to Jordan Lang, and he sends it all the way back down as well. And now a whistle.
A little miscommunication between the officials, but they got the call right. That wasn't ice, and the faceover come way down in front of John Winauer. Liam McLaughlin, just a sophomore, one of Keith Nixon's stars on the ice tonight.
.935 counting down here in overtime. First team to score will win the Public B State Championship. If neither team scores, the two teams will be crowned co-champions. They'll will be no shootout, as there are no shootouts in state championship play here in New Jersey. In the state championship finals, I should say, not in state championship tournament, but in the finals, no shootout.
Correct. Anytime you need a team to advance to the next level, if it's tied after the overtime, you go to a shootout. Same way in the cup games. Some people are not happy with that situation, but that is the decision of the NJSIAA.
So a face-off to the left of Winnow. Summit keeps it in, deflected in front. Puck is loose. Here's a shot. Winnow makes the save. The puck loose in front, and the Hilltoppers poking at it, and Winnow able to cover up. Well, John, Winnow came up huge in that situation.
Is there a word bigger than huge, Lou? Because you can insert it right here. Unbelievable. There's the backhand. Watch the save. Point blank. As Frank Lawrence, who's going for his first goal of the year, and he almost got it. And then Winnow was aware enough to jump on the rebound and hold on. Look at them from the upper view. Look at that. He sticks out the left glove at the last moment. Outstanding.
Puck to the left of Winnow. Tenafly able to send it up ahead. Here's Eric Shallett. Takes a shot, and McGowan makes the save.
McGowan taking no chances, smothering the shot against his chest. But he has not seen as much action as the other side. Watch the wrist shot coming from Eric Shallett, who scored earlier in the game. But that time an easy save for the sophomore goaltender.
8:44 remaining here in OT. Here comes Summit. Flipped up ahead there by Liam McLaughlin. Chased down on the far side by Chris Zanelli. Centered in front and cleared out of there by Tenafly. Winnow makes a kick save that time, and it comes back out of the zone.
Summit's coming awfully close here, Lou. They're really buzzing all around Winnow.
Scott Shallett sends it behind the goal. Chased down there by Eric. He flips it behind the net. Big hit on the far side delivered. Here's a slap shot that's deflected in front. That one kicked aside by McGowan. A lot of traffic in front. Dangerous play there.
Well, Liam McLaughlin stopped that shot, and he's hurt. He's not moving too quick. The first time this puck comes out of the zone, he's going to the bench.
Slapped back in by Tenafly, and now Summit flips it back into the Tiger zone. 7:30 remaining here in the third period. Excuse me, in overtime, 7:30. 1-1 the score. Hilltoppers have outshot the Tigers 26-23.
That young fellow there has stopped 22 of those 23 shots.
Jason Vander Linden takes the face-off for Tenafly. Vander Linden behind the goal. In front shot! Oh, just went wide. Taken there by Eli Markowitz.
Wow, he will see that shot in his dreams for a week. He just threw his hands to his head because he was set up beautifully on the far side. Notice he's being consoled by his teammate. He just missed the net. Watch this pass. There it is. You know, maybe you got a save on that. Maybe McGowan got a piece of this. I'm not quite sure. Maybe get a better look from this angle. The pass. Nope, he just missed it. He shot it right through the crease.
Face-off could fly. Big hit. Delivered by Nyitray behind the goal. In front, Markowitz, another chance. Just couldn't get enough of his stick on that one.
Well, now it's Tenafly with the opportunities.
6:50 remaining at OT. Now Summit finally able to clear it out of there. Riley Flynn sends it behind the goal. Intercepted here by Liam McLaughlin. In front, shot, Winnow, and makes the save.
Holding your breath, Your heart's palpitating, and these goaltenders are as cool as cucumbers. Another outstanding save. Watch that slide pass across. Quick shot. But Winauer squared himself to the shooter, anticipated the pass, and made the save.
6:25 remaining in overtime. Tenafly and Summit tied in 1. Here's a shot deflected in front. And that pass sails just in front of the crease. Summit looked like they might have been set up for an opportunity. Tenafly coming back the other way. Up on the stick. A faceoff Markowitz. Tigers carry into the Summit zone. Knocked out there by the Hilltoppers. And Tenafly regroups. Now onside. And Zanelli the other way for Summit. Flips it cross ice, Jeff Wyckoff. And he has it knocked away from him. Flipped up ahead by Liam McLaughlin. 5.5 remaining in OT.
I'm speechless, Lou. I'm just enjoying this game. It's unbelievable. End to end, both teams playing so well. Both teams having quite a few opportunities here in the overtime, and goaltenders being outstanding.
Scott Shalick can't control the puck. Here comes Nyitray. Mike Nyitray puts the brakes on. Now goes across the ice. Shot! Score! Riley Flynn puts it home for the Hilltoppers, and Summit wins their first state championship.
And it was the pass from Mike Nyitray that set it up. As he raced down the left side, hit the brakes, came back, and slid a beautiful pass in the slot for Riley Flynn. And you know what? That's his first goal of the season. None bigger than that one. How do you like to break the slide and score your first goal of the year in overtime in a state championship? Wow. There he is, the hero tonight.
Pandemonium for the Hilltoppers. Their 8th straight win of the season delivers them a state championship as they defeat Tenafly in overtime by the score of 2-1. And here it is.
Watch, there's the stop. Now watch the softball pass right in the slot, 15 feet out. He beats Winauer up over the left shoulder, and the party begins.
So Flynn puts it home. Summit, here it is one more time. Another look.
And that's his first of the playoffs. I stand corrected, his first of the playoffs. And a beautiful goal, as you see from the overhead right there. Almost a piece of it with the gauntlet by Winauer, but no, it goes in. Look at the bench, watch him. There it is. We did it. And the celebration in Summit will last the entire weekend, I'm sure.
All right, Colin Cosell standing by with Victoria's head coach Keith Nixon. Colin?
All right, Coach Nixon, your first championship. What's going through your head right now?
They've battled us so hard. We couldn't get guys open in front. Couldn't get a chance, and we just felt we had them on their heels a little bit in the overtime. We're using our third line throughout the game. Gave us a little bit better legs in the third. I kept every time we had Liam's line out there, I kept going, get it to Zanelli, get it to Zanelli. We got it to Zanelli, and he shot it right in the kid's chest. Oh yeah! It's our other freshman, Riley Flynn. Just unbelievable shot, great goal.
Now you said that a lot of the reason for your success this year has been on your seniors. Would you say that kind of leadership is what carried you through to what is now a New Jersey State Championship?
Absolutely. I've got 9 of the best seniors. They've given us everything all year.
Now, I saw a very intense huddle before you went into the overtime period. What did you tell your team? Because it obviously worked.
I just told our first and second line I was putting it on them. I told Badgley's line to be ready if we were tired. I said, I'm putting this on you guys. Get it done.
Well, Coach, you did get it done indeed. Congratulations on your first championship as the Summit Hilltops are the 2011-2012 New Jersey State B champions.
All right, Colin, and Summit does it in dramatic style as they win it 2-1 in overtime, defeating Tenafly. And we'll be back to talk more about Summit's Public B state title in just a few moments right here on MSG Varsity's Game Time. Back at the Prudential Center, the Summit Hilltoppers with the state championship trophy as they celebrate their Public B state title, winning it 2-1 over Tenafly. Colin Cosell standing by with our player of the game. Colin.
Thank you, Lou. Well, it is my pleasure to be standing with the young man that put it all away, Riley Flynn, the freshman standout, 37 points on the year, no goals in the tournament until the one that counts the most. You've got a bright future ahead, but this is one heck of a start, huh?
Yeah, I saw Mike coming down the wing and he stopped, and I just knew he was going to pass it to me, and I just shot and prayed for it to go in.
All right, now we take a look at it right here. Talk us through the play.
He was coming down with speed, so I went to the middle. The F2 went to the goal, and I saw him stop, and he passed it, and I just closed my eyes and shot, basically.
Now, did you know you were going to go top shelf with that? Did you see the opening and just laser beamed it?
Yeah, I looked before I shot and closed my eyes and then just let it go.
So now you're 1 for 1 as a freshman. You've got a championship under your belt. Where do you go from here?
I don't know. We'll see next year, see what happens. We should have a good team for the next 3 years, so.
And they absolutely will, because they've got this young man, Riley Flynn, at the helm. Congratulations, Riley, on the championship. There they are, the Summit Hilltops, New Jersey B champions.
All right, Colin, and Riley Flynn with the quote of the year. He closed his eyes and shot. You take a look at the final number, shots on goal. Summit, 28-23 over Tenafly. Hits in favor of the Hilltoppers. Face-offs in favor of the Tigers. Close numbers all the way throughout, and you couldn't get any closer than what we saw here tonight. 2-1 in overtime.
Now, it was exactly what we expected. Good competitive game, and you gotta love it. I closed my eyes and I shot the puck. When he does that his senior year, he'll be a little more descriptive. He'll have a media coach by then, and he'll get it right. But an outstanding effort by Summit. Congratulations to them.
So the Hilltoppers win the Public B state championship here at the Prudential Center. They defeat Tenafly by the score of 2-1 in overtime. We keep Caggiano and Colin Cosell and our entire team. I'm Lou Brago. Thanks for joining us. Summit wins the Public B state championship. Final score, Summit 2, Tenafly 1.